20 centime coin dated 2000 stands as a fascinating artifact of late 20th and early 21st century European numismatics, representing a denomination that carries both historical continuity and transitional importance during the pre-Euro era for several countries that used centime as a subunit of their currency. The most widely recognized and collected example of a 20 centime coin from the year 2000 is the French 20 centime, which belongs to the long-running Franc series that circulated in France before the adoption of the euro in 2002. This coin, with its date of 2000, is one of the last in the line of the French franc coins, as France transitioned to the euro currency only 2 years later, making coins from the final years of the franc historically significant and sentimental for both collectors and citizens. The 20 centime denomination has deep historical roots, first introduced in France during the 19th century, and by the year 2000, it had taken a modernized form featuring the familiar design by artist Laurent Joriot, initials LJ, depicting the Marianne bust on the obverse, the national emblem of the French Republic symbolizing liberty and reason, wearing a Phrygian cap which is a symbol of freedom dating back to the French Revolution. Around the obverse, the legend, République Française, is inscribed, reaffirming the coin's national identity and republican values. The reverse design features the denomination, 20 centime, the year of issue, 2000, and the national motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, Liberty, Equality, Fraternity, framed by stylized wheat ears and olive branches representing agricultural prosperity and peace. The 2000 issue was struck in large quantities for circulation at the Monnaie de Paris, Paris Mint, with mint marks often identifiable as a cornucopia or a symbol associated with the chief engraver. Its metallic composition consists of aluminum bronze 92% copper, 6% aluminum, 2% nickel, giving it a distinctive golden hue and making it lightweight yet durable for everyday use. The coin measures approximately 23.5 mm in diameter, weighs around 4 grams, and features a smooth edge, which was typical of French centime coins of this era. In terms of historical context, the year 2000 was a period of great anticipation and economic adjustment in France as it prepared for the full adoption of the euro, which would replace the franc officially on January 1, 2002, with a transitional dual circulation period until February 2002. The 20 centime 2000 therefore represents a last chapter coin, a circulating relic of a currency that had been in use for centuries. Millions of these coins were minted, meaning they were very common in daily life, used for small purchases like bread, newspapers, or tram tickets, yet as the euro approached, many were withdrawn or hoarded as keepsakes of the old currency. From a numismatic perspective, the coin is not considered rare in circulated condition, as its mintage was in the tens or hundreds of millions, but uncirculated UNC, or proof-like specimens, as well as coins preserved in original mint sets from 2000, can carry modest premiums among collectors who specialize in late Franc-era coinage or transition-period European currencies. The symbolism of the coin is deeply tied to French identity. The Marianne symbolizes liberty and republican values, the wheat stands for agriculture and rural heritage, the olive branch stands for peace, and the motto reflects the ideals of the French Revolution, which remained at the core of the French Republic's values well into the 21st century. The coin also reflects France's industrial and economic modernization, as its lightweight aluminum bronze alloy was chosen for cost-effectiveness and durability, ensuring that even low-denomination coins could be mass-produced efficiently while retaining a dignified golden color. In the global numismatic market, the 2020 centime coin is primarily collected as part of full French franc sets, especially the last years of the franc collections from 1999-2001, or by those who enjoy coins marking millennial years, 2000 being a particularly collectible date for thematic collectors. Its typical market value ranges from face value to about 50 cents to €2 for circulated pieces, while uncirculated examples can fetch €3, €5, and proof or specially packaged specimens may go slightly higher. It does not have significant intrinsic metal value because aluminum bronze is not a precious metal, but its historical and transitional context adds collectible appeal. From a cultural and emotional perspective, this coin carries a sense of nostalgia for many French citizens who grew up with the franc and witnessed its replacement by the euro. The 20 centime coin was small, handy, and frequently used, and its disappearance from pockets and cash registers marked the end of an era. After February 17, 2002, these coins ceased to be legal tender, and the Banque de France allowed their exchange until February 17, 2012, after which they became solely collectibles and souvenirs. The coin also serves as a study piece in European monetary history, showing how traditional designs and national symbols were maintained up until the eve of the euro, and how coinage reflected both modern minting technology and long-standing artistic traditions. Collectors today might focus on mintmark varieties, die rotations, and high-grade specimens of the 2020 centime, as these subtle details can make a difference in numismatic value. For instance, coins struck with very sharp details and original mint luster are increasingly sought after, as the majority of circulating coins were subject to wear and handling. Overall, the 2020 centime coin stands as a modest yet meaningful piece of numismatic history, a low-value coin with high symbolic weight, bridging the gap between the 20th century Franc economy and the 21st century Eurozone. It reflects the artistry of French coinage, the resilience of small change in daily commerce, and the emotional attachment nations have to their currencies, even when economic realities demand change. The 1970 20 centime coin is a notable artifact in the history of European small denomination coinage, most prominently associated with the French franc system that existed before the introduction of the euro. The denomination of 20 centime was a long-standing one within the French monetary system, originating in the 19th century, and by 1970 it had evolved into a modern, lightweight coin designed for high-volume circulation during a period marked by rapid economic development and growing European cooperation. The 1970 issue, like other coins of this series, featured the widely recognized design by artist Henri Le Griffol, 1907–1981, whose work came to symbolize the French Republic's post-war economic reconstruction and modernization. On the obverse front side, the coin bears the national emblematic figure of Marianne, depicted in profile, wearing the traditional Phrygian cap, a symbol of liberty and the revolutionary spirit of France since the late 18th century. Marianne represents the ideals of freedom, equality, and the people's sovereignty, acting as a personification of the French Republic itself. The inscription, République Française, arcs along the rim, reaffirming the nation's republican identity during a time when France was experiencing significant political and social transformation under the Fifth Republic. The year 1970 falls within the presidency of Georges Pompidou, who continued the modernization policies initiated by Charles de Gaulle, steering France towards industrial advancement and European economic integration. The reverse back side of the coin displays its face value, 20 centime, prominently at the center, the date, 1970, placed just below, and is surrounded by the national motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, Liberty, Equality, Fraternity, which originated during the French Revolution and has remained a cornerstone of the Republic's identity. The reverse is adorned with stylized ears of wheat, oak leaves, and olive branches, symbolizing agriculture, strength, endurance, and peace, values closely tied to both the French countryside and the post-war recovery era. The physical characteristics of the 1970 20 centime coin reflect its role as a practical piece of everyday currency. It was minted in aluminum bronze, an alloy primarily composed of approximately 92% copper, 6% aluminum, and 2% nickel, which provided a light golden color and excellent resistance to corrosion while being economical for mass production. The coin measures 23.5 mm in diameter, weighs approximately 4 grams, and features a smooth edge, a standard feature for French minor coins of the time. The coin was struck at the Monnaie de Paris, Paris Mint, the primary minting authority of France, which has been responsible for producing French coinage for centuries. The 1970 issue saw a large mintage, reflecting the widespread use of the 20 centime in everyday commerce. At the time, 20 centime was a convenient denomination often used for small daily purchases such as bread, tram tickets, newspapers, or small household goods. From a historical perspective, the year 1970 was a period of relative stability in France but also one of transition. It was marked by increasing industrialization, the beginnings of modern European cooperation leading to what would eventually become the European Union, and significant cultural changes following the social upheavals of the late 1960s. The 20 centime coin thus existed as part of a dynamic monetary system where coins still played a central role in cash transactions, long before the widespread adoption of electronic payments. The collector value of the 1970 20 centime coin today is generally modest due to its large mintage and widespread circulation. Circulated examples are common and usually hold only nominal value, often around their former face value or slightly higher when sold in bulk. However, uncirculated UNC or fleur de coin FDC specimens, especially those with original mint luster, can attract collectors interested in complete French franc sets or those specializing in 20th century French coinage. Their value may range from a few euros to higher amounts if included in original mint sets or if they exhibit exceptional preservation. The symbolism of this coin cannot be overlooked. Marianne, as a recurring figure in French coinage, represents a link between revolutionary ideals and modern republican governance. The combination of wheat, oak, and olive evokes a harmony between agriculture, strength, and peace, elements essential to France's identity as a nation of both rural traditions and urban modernity. The motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, remained not only a political slogan but also a guiding principle of the French state, appearing prominently on all coins, stamps, and official documents. After the introduction of the euro in 2002, the French franc, including the 20 centime coins, was demonetized, and citizens were able to exchange their old coins for euros until February 17, 2012. After that date, coins like the 1970 20 centimes ceased to have any legal tender value and became purely collectible or nostalgic items. This transition has given them a new role. Instead of being pocket change, they became symbols of a bygone era, often kept as mementos or passed down in families as part of their heritage. In the numismatic market, the 1970 20 centime is often included in last decades of the franc. Collections are used as an educational tool for students and enthusiasts studying European monetary history. Variations in mintmarks or dyed details may intrigue specialized collectors, though no major rare errors are widely known for the 1970 issue. The legacy of the 20 centime denomination itself is significant. It was one of the small yet essential building blocks of the French economy for over a century, serving as a fractional unit that enabled smooth everyday commerce. The 1970 edition represents the middle phase of this journey, far enough from the wartime and post-war scarcity years, yet still over 3 decades before the euro era began. Thus, the 1970 20 centime coin is far more than a small piece of yellow metal. It is a tangible witness to a period of French history characterized by growth, modernization, and the preservation of republican values. It carries with it the artistry of its engraver, the economic realities of its time, and the sentimental memory of millions who once used it in their daily lives.